Good morning. It's 8:04 a.m. on Wednesday, May 19th, 2021. I'm Christiana Ellis and I sort of just got up. This is 5 more minutes. Yeah, this weird routine that I've got now where Rocket wakes me up at like between 5 and 5:30. We go outside and then I go back to bed and try to get as much more sleep as I can before I actually absolutely have to be out of bed. It's yeah, it puts me in a weird headspace. But that's how it goes, I suppose. Um, I could be more. Um, I don't know. I could be more strict about like not rewarding him waking me up so early, but because I'm sure he could hold it. But the problem is that what he does to, like his escalating noises prevent me from really actually staying asleep anyway. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. um, I feel like I had to. Oh, I was gonna first of all just comment that I'm fairly pleased slash impressed with kind of some of the wild stuff my hair is doing right now. Um, so I went into the office yesterday, and I was actually planning on doing it today, but then I just realized this morning it's like I had kind of decided, in advance, like, oh, I think Wednesday's a good day, but I don't really have especially anything that I have to do in the office today. So, maybe I don't have to go in. I can work from home today. Certainly easier on me. But yeah, so we had a fun session of Dungeons and Dragons last night where the party got to go shopping and I had a lot of fun. If I may be allowed to toot my own DM horn a little bit, I am just very tickled with my own idea of um, a, uh, a fantasy REI. Like this is a shop called Sticky Zicky's Adventuring Emporium, but I just like to envision it as like it's if you're not familiar with REI, it's like a sporting goods and outdoorsy kind of camping supplies sort of place where, um, it's like a big box store, but just there's different areas where there's all sorts of different like sporting goods or tools that you would use for like camping and that sort of thing, but like for adventuring gear where like you've got the armor displays and weapon displays and ropes and lanterns and all of those sorts of things, but in just the various different sort of areas with illusions set up to make like interesting scenes. um, and I don't know, I want to go to a place like that. um, yeah, so that, and then the party got to do a little exploring, and this is a good example of, sometimes you can have problem solving in games like this that don't necessarily require combat. Like, if someone says, okay, well, there's a buried treasure, and you're like, okay, great, where is it? And they say it's like underneath the train tracks in the middle of Grand Central Station. And you're like, oh, well, how much do we want it? A lot? Okay, well, are we willing to, make a lot of people mad at us? What's the way to do this? But they're working it out. It's fun. Um, so that was good. And then, gosh, I feel like there was another thing that I was going to mention. I don't know. I don't remember what it was going to be. The newest D&D book came out yesterday, and I haven't had a chance to really look through it much. This is, Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft, I think, something along those lines. But it talks a lot about like, you know, horror in D&D and creating domains of dread and all of that sort of thing. But one of the things that, even though I haven't really dug into it yet myself, One of the things I've seen people talking about that is that it's got woven all throughout a lot of good thoughts about horror storytelling in general, including lots of notes about like when trying to develop horror in your games, bear in mind that a lot of a lot of storytelling in the genre, excuse me, has historically stigmatized things like mental illness or disability or things like that in harmful ways. So it's like try to be aware of that to in order to avoid it. And then it also has like a lot of discussion about consent in the context of like the goal is a scary game that's fun for the players, like scare the characters but not have the players have a panic attack. um, and yeah, I think all that's really good stuff. I've seen people talking about it on Twitter, and I'm excited to dig into it myself. But in the meantime, I've got to go ahead and get to work. So I'm going to talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.